Hi guys, I am Azlin Malik and welcome to another session of sharing time. Sorry, lost my voice there. Okay, and this is the session where I share tips and resources that can help you to shine, soar and smile to your success. And as per normal, I'm going to allow this session to run in for a minute. And to allow more people to come in so that you can actually share more of your tips and strategies. I actually experienced something with Facebook just now. I couldn't set up the Facebook Live, and got hanged. So I needed to actually reinstall, download again the app. So yep. So all is up and running. Okay, hi Nikmat, thank you for joining. A shout out to those of you who are with me right now. Thank you so much. And for those of you who are new to me, and this is your first time joining in the session, I'd like to welcome you. Hey, right? So let me just share a little bit about myself. I'm Azlin. I am a lifestyle motivational vlogger. I'm a public speaker, life coach, and also a freedom lifestyler. Freedom lifestyler would be I am actually currently enjoying time freedom, where I can do what I want, whenever I want, wherever I want, right? So, and all these tips and resources that I'm sharing are things that I apply to myself or I've read somewhere, and I found it really useful, and I share all these things here on this channel to inspire and empower you to create the life that you want. All right, and also, if you have been following me and you are wondering, how do I know when this lady puts up a new Facebook live feed? Now, if you were to look below, somewhere below your screen, there is a follow button. Tap on that so that you get notified on the latest live Facebook live sessions that I conduct, so that you don't miss any of it, right? So click on the follow button and be notified. All right, so more people coming in. I'm gonna say hi, right? So hi Mira, hi Tia, hi Wiming, and hi Kasaira. Thank you so much for joining me. Okay, now this happens when I reboot the Facebook app, because I was sharing how I was experiencing some difficulties just now. So right now, at this moment in time, I can only see those of you who have joined me. So I can't see any of your comments right now on screen. So I apologize if I am not able to take in any questions, right? Because my sessions are normally interactive. Feel free to post the comments and I will reply to your comments later after the session. Okay, so 1 minute is up. Let me just get into the topic. Right, the topic today, people, is how to stop caring about what people have to say about you. Do you know how it feels like? When you want to do something in your life, or whatever it is that you want to do, right? In severe cases, the way you eat, the way you dress, the way you talk to people, you feel that you don't feel free. You feel that you need to think 2 times, 10 times more about how you should carry yourself, right? And for some of us, maybe you have come to this point in your life where you want to make changes, but you need to seek validation. You need to seek validation from people that matter. And normally it's your family, it's your parents, it's your siblings, it's your friends, close friends. And you dare not step up because they said something to you that made you stop, right? And then you become frustrated because you feel that I can't move on, because if I do this, then somebody will not be happy, and that somebody means a lot to you, and you feel stuck, right? And you feel frustrated. Anyone out there feels like that? If you do, thumbs up. Come on, press those thumbs up to show that you know how it feels like to think so many times before you do something, or when you do something and then you begin to think through of what you did, and then you begin to worry about what they think. Who's the they? It could be your close ones, your loved ones, your close friends, or even if you were to do a presentation. Let's say you do a presentation and you share to a group of people, and you find yourself saying something that, oh, I shouldn't do that, or I shouldn't say that, and then you start thinking, oh crap, I said that. Now everybody, or they will think that I'm incompetent, I'm lousy, I'm not good enough of a speaker. You start on that self-blaming thing. So we're going to talk about this. Let me just share with you guys. Like, in the past, for me, I think about maybe 10 years ago, I am very much, okay, I admit that I do care about what people think of me. It actually affects the way I dress. It affects the way I talk. That I have this thinking that I must talk properly to show that I'm smart, I have to dress nicely so that people don't think that I am, in Melayu is seleke, maybe in English is a messy appearance, and what else? Oh, when I was working in the bank, like, come on, there are superficial people, right, who are very much into the tangible materialism. So I am very particular about the brands that I wear, right? If there is no brand, maybe if I don't wear a branded wallet, I'll just don't show so much of it, to that extent, guys, to that extent. That was me 10 years ago. Whatever I did, it mattered to me what other people think of me. And it was draining and suffocating to live a life based on wanting people to accept me. And that is the reason why we do care what other people think of us. Come on, guys, be honest with yourself. There are points in your life or there are areas in your life that you know that you do care what people say or think about you. And just that affects whatever or however it is you normally do things. And you find yourself questioning yourself a lot, and that gets frustrating and suffocating. Because you're unhappy, that you just want to do it, but what if this person say this, or people start talking, or people think of me this way. It just affects one thing in your life: your happiness. You choose to sacrifice your happiness over what other people have to say about you. It's making you unhappy. And maybe for you out there, you may be wondering, why? How did it get to this? Like I shared many times in my video, awareness before change. Only when you're aware, then you can do something about it, right? So, firstly, to bring about awareness is to stand up, raise your hands, and admit that I do care about what other people think of me. I cannot take criticisms well. I do get very affected when what people say or think about me. It starts from that. I'm sure for those of you who have watched a lot of my videos, I will always start with that. I am very much into being honest with self, because only when you bring out what the issue within you is, then you can really bring out the solution to yourself. Okay, so number one is bring awareness. Say that, yes, I admit, I care what other people think. I can't handle criticisms well. Criticisms on me well. I get really affected, really sad, really disappointed, really moody when I start thinking about what other people think of me. Okay? And so, the how. Why do we care so much, right? Why do we care so much about what other people think about us? It's this. It stems from the need of love and belonging when we were a child. Okay? Now, I'm not going to generalize all parents, but I feel that, most parents, right, who brought you up, okay, you may be in the era where they give you punishments, right? So they actually, their parenting style is parenting style with fear, right? Your iron fist. So you've been raised up in an environment or with the conditioning that in order for you to get accepted and love, you need to conform, right? You need to do things, or your actions need to be validated by your parents to say that, yes, this is the right one. And we've been raised all this while with that need for for the sense of validation, for someone to say that, yes, this is right. And the reason why we accommodate and we try to, we want to have this sense of belonging is because somehow when we get raised by parents like that, and not even parents, it's actually your circle of people that you are close to then when you were small, how they reacted to say what is good and what's not good actually started a conditioning within ourselves on what is accepted and not. And being human beings, I don't know whether you know about Maslow hierarchy of needs, right? Maslow hierarchy of needs is, number one is basic needs. Basic needs will be like your shelter, your food, your water. And he stated that to be the top need that human beings want. But I beg to differ, right? I would say that the second need that he says, belonging, sense of belonging, love and belonging, that sense of belonging and love is much more important to human beings compared to your basic needs. And how do I justify that? Okay, those of you who have dated and have heartbroken, right, face heartbroken, like breakups, sour breakups, sad breakups. Is it true that you don't feel like eating, you don't feel like drinking, and you just want to stay cooped up in your room and just cry and just be sad or just be angry? But food and water is like, it's not important at that period of time. So at that point of time when you're experiencing that breakup, what is it that you yearn or you perceive that you've lost? Sense of belonging, love, right? So that's why I believe that human beings, the number one need that they need to satisfy and they find most important is the sense of being loved and belonging in a community, within a group of people, within an environment, right? And because of that, most of us seek validation. We seek validation. I'm not saying to all of us, I'm saying to the most of us. There are people that you meet at times whom you feel are like thick skin, like whatever people say about them, it's like the person just, okay, Whereas for the majority of us, we have the opposite. We have thin skin where every single thing that a person says, we take it personally. Because since we are young, we have been brought and raised in an environment where seeking validation, seeking approval, right? Where if you were to do something wrong, you'll be punished by your parents. Maybe some of you get whipped, right? Maybe some of you get to be pushed, pulled, and kept in a store, or have a quiet corner where it's like punishment corner, like that. And when you do that to a child, it is ingrained in them that, okay, I should only do things when my parents say yes or when they smile and they're happy. And so this conditioning starts to bring about caution. And this conditioning is inside us since we are so young, and it's still within us, that we bring it forward to our adulthood. So that's why when we start doing things, we always seek validation. And the thing about the word validation, many people misunderstand the word validation. Many people take that validation is what we do is seen as true, seen as right, with other people. But the true word of validation, okay, let me just check my dictionary, okay? The word validation is basically, what it means is that to say something that is true only from your perspective. That means if somebody were to say that you're stupid, validation comes from you, yourself. And it is only validated when you agree with what the other person says about you. Okay? Validation doesn't come from outside in. Validation is inside out. So if someone tells you that you're incompetent, and in your heart you know you're not, it's not validated, guys. Because validation comes only from you, not other people. So it brings to light that people can say anything or they can think anything about you, but the validation, the complete validation, stems from you. So it brings about the next question. When you say that they think about you in some way, who is doing the validation? Who is agreeing with the majority? It is not true unless you believe it is so. So it stems from you, guys. Why you continuously begin to worry about what other people think of you is because you believe it to be so. You believe it to be so. And I don't know whether you guys believe in this, right? I believe that the people around me, right? Anything happens for me, right? So whatever anybody else says, or I perceive they think they say, is actually words that I am saying to myself. It's never about other people. It's about what I say to myself. Because if you are aware and you understand this concept that whatever you think and whatever you think other people are thinking is basically coming from you, not other people. So if someone were to come to say, you are incompetent, there's something within you that is saying to yourself that you are incompetent. Because the moment you feel something when a person says that to you, like you feel hurt or you feel sad, right? It means that there is something inside you, within you, which agrees with whatever that person says. So it's something that you have been actually telling yourself. If the person comes to you and say you're incompetent, and inside you, you just, no, I'm not. You just say thank you for sharing, but it's not validated because you don't believe in what that person says. And you don't take it personally, and you just let it go. And you feel good about yourself because, no, I'm not. This person doesn't know me. He just talks to me for 5 minutes, or we've only been working for 1 or 2 years, and he says that I'm incompetent. You know yourself that much. So it stems from this, guys. Awareness. Number one, awareness. Awareness that this need to seek approval and validation from outside has been instilled in us since we were young, how we were raised by our parents, right? Being given rewards, like maybe sugar, chocolate rewards if you do something good, and get punished, like you get whacked or you get kept in the store or something because you did something wrong, or one quiet corner and no supper for you for the evening or something like that, right? It stems from your childhood, whomever who has taken care of you. So for those of you who have been blessed with this no punishment thing when you were growing up, that style of parenting, the chances of you caring about what other people think about you and say about you is very minimal. These are people who we call thick skin. They don't easily believe about what other people have to think or say about them. Okay? And when from that awareness, then the realization comes when we are out of that parenting already. We are adults and we are leading our own lives. Yet we still hold on to how we've been treated then, seeking validation from other people, and whatever it is that you think, do, or say is affected, because there's only one thing that you are looking out for. You are looking out for validation from the outside in and not from the other way around. And this is the biggest aha and awareness that I had like 5 years ago. And from this awareness, it started me on this path to discover self-love, really truly loving myself, because it's by high time that it's been tiring for me to allow what other people think and say about me affect me. It's by high time that I validate myself from the inside in. Do I really believe whatever these people say about me? Who knows yourself best? It's you, right? So discover yourself, discover your strengths, and slowly eliminate whatever it is that you think or what people think of you. And this brings me to another concept. All right, so awareness, so you get all that, right? Now this brings me to the next concept, where, you know, the example that I gave just now was, let's say you do a presentation, right, to 3 people, 30 people, and you say something wrong, and then you begin to think about what other people think. Now ponder on this, okay? So what's stopping you? Is it because of what other people think of you, or what you think they think? Okay, let me repeat that. Okay, what's really stopping you? Is it because of what they think, or what they think you think? So what I'm trying to say, guys, most of the times it is not true that when you do a presentation or when you talk to someone, they think of you a certain way. Especially when you're doing a presentation, you must remember, we tend to have this general mindset, what we call a hive mindset, that we generalize. If I think of myself like this, everybody else will think the same way. Okay, so here's a heads up. Okay, if I say in Malay, it means jangan perasan. Okay, jangan perasan yang you fikir what you think about yourself, they also think. Okay, in English is, you don't think that other people got the time to think the same way you think. Okay, everybody, their minds, the brain is very noisy, you know. They get distracted, you know. As much as you know, when you're actually doing the talk, they might not even catch whatever it is that the mistake that you did, because they are so in their thoughts that they might be thinking, what am I going to cook today? Oh, what time am I going to fetch the kids? Oh, okay, have I done this? Have I done that? And maybe there's one in a few that's actually being present there and listening to whatever it is that you shared. Everybody's minds are busy. We don't think the same way. We don't. We just created that way. So the truth is, guys, when you are thinking what are they thinking about me, or this group is thinking about me, it's really your perception. People don't think the same thing at the same point in time. It is simply impossible. Right? Possibly are very rare. But for most of the times, human beings, we don't think the same thing at that point in time. Okay, so what is happening when you allow to get what other people think to affect you? is that belief that other people are thinking the same way as you do. So if you make a boo-boo in your presentation, you think that, oh crap, everybody saw that. Now everybody's gonna think that I'm incompetent. Everybody, realize the words that you tell yourself when you talk with someone, when you talk in a group. You tend to make it a collective, a hive mindset that everybody is thinking the same thing about you, when the truth is, you are the one thinking about what they might think of you, and it is you who is doing the thinking. You are the one who is sabotaging yourself with your own standards, that you don't find yourself good enough, that I am not a good leader, I am not a good speaker, I am incompetent, I am lousy, I'm stupid, I'm lazy. They are thinking I'm stupid, they are thinking I'm incompetent, they think I'm... So here's the deal, guys. Whenever there is a situation that calls for it, that you feel that they are thinking or saying something about you, change the phrase and say, okay, instead of they think I'm incompetent, shift it to say, I think I'm incompetent. And ask yourself this question: is it true? And when you change from they to I, it will hit you harder, because you will then realize what are the things that you have said to yourself, what are the things that you believe about you that makes you feel lousy and stuck and stagnant every day. Validation, guys, comes from in, out. Whatever anybody thinks or say, think, number one, you're generalizing lah, because the person might not even think about it. The thought is actually from you. But if about what people say about you, if a person says something to you and you love yourself enough to know your strengths and you embrace that, you wouldn't agree with them. And you don't have to say to them that you don't agree with them. You just acknowledge, because the person sees you like that based on maybe 5-10 minutes or half an hour that you guys met, or 1 year that they know you. When you know yourself for the duration of time you are alive, if you are 40 years old and you know yourself 40 years, versus someone who says something about you whom you know like 1 to 2 years, what's the deal with that? Alright, so guys, that is the topic today, and I really hope that whatever I've shared has sparked something, you know. I know that it can get really, really overwhelming, so take time to realize that what you think other people think of you is not true, because not everybody thinks the same thing about you at the same time, and they have themselves a lot of thoughts in their mind, right? And the main thing about when you say that people are what people think of you is basically what you think of yourself. Change all the statements that you've been saying, what you think other people think of you. Write them down, because thoughts, they come very fast, but when one does, write it down and consciously flip that sentence from they think of me so and so to I think of me so and so. Then you'll be aware of what you have been telling yourself. Then you'll be aware that the way to go to settle this is to give yourself a lot of self-love. Do your mirror work, do your positive affirmations, write down your strengths, do your I mean, one way that we are exposed to in iHelp is doing tapping, right? Putting in new affirmations. And by listing down what your thoughts are, what you think other people think of you, is actually helping you to release your old conditionings, your old thinking habits. And you need that before you can fill up yourself with new empowering thoughts, right? So you need to do for yourself. You need to do this for yourself. Oh my gosh, I'm just so excited about this topic, because I just know how it feels like, guys. I know how it feels like to be confined by what I think other people think of me. That's why I got a lot of migraine last time, you know. Think so much. Think, you know, when most of them are not true. Okay, so question of the day is, what would you do, be, and create if you are the only living person on this planet Earth? Right? Since you like to think what other people think of you, so try to shake yourself out, try to shake your mind out, and ask yourself this question of the day. What would you do, be, and create if you're the only person alive on this planet Earth? When there's nobody else for you to seek validation, if you are one who always seek validation from outside in, right? What will you do, be, and create when there's no other human beings on this planet and only you? Share your comments on this question of the day. Share it on this post. The more you share, the more you give, the more people will benefit, and we are helping each other, because this issue is not only faced by me, it is faced by almost everybody, unless you're thick skin. Okay, and whatever that I share today, it may be just theory, but there is an opportunity for you to practice it out live. I would like to extend an invite to a platform, a wonderful platform, whose purpose is only one thing: intention to help many people to find themselves, to be able to experience personal growth, to have more life skills that can also help them to earn money, to give you an opportunity to help people who don't have money. It is a complete holistic entrepreneurship program called I Help, and there is a free selection session that's going to happen tomorrow. And if you are up for it, and if you are like me, you wish to start on self and then to help other people, and then at the same time earn extra income. I mean, extra income is good because, you know, Singapore is a very expensive country to stay in. And not only Singapore, around the world, cost of living is going up. So if you are looking for a complete, holistic platform which offers you step-by-step guide, systematic, simple, easy for you to follow, and you have supportive coaches 24/7 that's there to help you, then I extend this exclusive invite to you tomorrow. I will put a link, and here is towards you shining, soaring, and smiling to your success. Azlin signing out. Peace.